In 1911, a county nurse answering a routine welfare complaint stepped into a forgotten settlement and uncovered a bloodline so twisted by faith, isolation, and obsession that the children no longer looked fully human. Her name was Eleanor Voss, and she had spent years visiting farms, sick rooms, and dying houses across Blackthorn County. She knew the smell of fever, rot, and grief, but nothing prepared her for the air surrounding the Halbrecht homestead. A fenced compound hidden beyond dead cornfields and a collapsing chapel. The odor was wrong from the moment she arrived, sweet and spoiled at once, like flowers left too long on a grave. Neighbors had reported cries at night, children never seen in town, and marriages performed only within the same family for generations under something they called the Covenant of Purity. The Halbrechts believed the outside world was corrupted. According to local whispers, their founder, a self-proclaimed prophet named Josiah Halbrecht, had settled there in the 1840s after claiming God spoke to him through a fever dream. He preached that holiness could be preserved only by sealing the bloodline from outsiders. Sons married cousins. Daughters were promised to uncles' sons. Birth after birth, generation after generation, the family folded into itself, believing each union brought them closer to divine perfection. But perfection never came. Something else did. When Eleanor entered the main house, she expected neglect. Instead, she found order so rigid it felt insane. Every wall was scrubbed clean. Every Bible verse was copied in the same trembling handwriting. And in the back room, she found the children sitting in silence, lined up shoulder to shoulder, their faces pale and hollow-eyed. At first, they seemed merely malnourished. Then one of them shifted forward into the light, and Eleanor saw his legs clearly. Below the ankles, there were no feet. In their place hung small, fully formed hands, wrists twisting where heels should have been, fingers flexing slowly against the floorboards. Another child clutched the edge of a chair with those same hand-like limbs, moving with a terrible, spidering ease. The oldest woman in the house watched Eleanor without fear. She simply said, "The seventh generation has opened." What Eleanor discovered in the chapel cellar was worse than the children. Beneath loose boards lay family records spanning 70 years, documenting births, pairings, deformities, stillbirths, and prayers. The entries were not written with shame but triumph. Each generation was described as a step toward creating a vessel, a body pure enough for something sacred to enter. The hand-footed children were not hidden because the family feared judgment. They were hidden because the family believed the transformation meant success. Eleanor fled with 2 surviving children before sunrise. By the time deputies returned, the compound was burning. No one could explain how the fire started. The chapel collapsed, the records were lost, and most of the family was never found, dead or alive. But the rescued children left behind one detail that Blackthorn County never forgot. Neither cried nor asked for their parents nor spoke of pain. They only repeated the same sentence over and over in calm little voices. We were almost ready for it to walk. And long after the ashes cooled, people claimed they sometimes heard something in those woods at night. Not footsteps in the leaves, but the soft, wet sound of many small hands pulling a body forward through the dark.